I refuse to add my separated wife and her kids to my health insurance. My wife Amanda and I have been separated for 3 months now. We're still legally married but living in different places while we figure out if we want to stay together or get divorced. I've been leaning pretty hard toward divorce, but I promised her we'd try couples therapy for at least a few months before making any final decisions. The whole separation started because we just couldn't stop fighting about everything. Money, household stuff, her kids, all of it. Her 2 kids are from her previous marriage. Tyler's 9 and Emma's 7. They're fine kids, but I've always felt like an outsider in their little family unit. Amanda makes most of the parenting decisions without asking me, and the kids still call their biological dad, even though he barely sees them. Last week, Amanda called me sounding really stressed. She'd just gotten laid off from her job at the hospital where she worked in billing. The company was downsizing, and she was one of 15 people who got cut. She was freaking out about money, which I get. Being unemployed is scary. But then she started talking about health insurance. Apparently, Tyler has some chronic stomach issues and sees a specialist every few weeks. The doctor he sees is really good, but only works with certain insurance plans. Amanda's work insurance covered it perfectly. She'd looked into getting insurance through the marketplace, but the plans that covered Tyler's doctor were like $600 a month, way more than she could afford while unemployed. That's when she asked if I could add all 3 of them to my work policy. My company has really good insurance, and adding dependents only cost me about $200 extra per month total. She said it would save her so much money and make sure Tyler could keep seeing his doctor without interruption. She was practically begging me over the phone. I told her I needed to think about it. The truth is, I didn't want to do it at all. We're separated and probably getting divorced. Adding her and her kids to my insurance felt like tying myself to her even more when I'm trying to figure out how to untie everything. I called her back the next day and said no. She completely lost it on me. Started yelling about how I was being selfish and putting money over Tyler's health. She said a real man would take care of his family no matter what. I reminded her that Tyler isn't my son. That seemed to make her even angrier. She told me I'd been in Tyler's life for 4 years, and that made me just as responsible as his real dad. I said his real dad should be the one helping with insurance then, not me. She said his dad was broke and unreliable, which is exactly why she needed me to step up. Then she pulled out the guilt trip. She said if Tyler's condition got worse because he couldn't see his specialist, it would be my fault. That I'd have to live with knowing I could have helped but chose not to. She even started crying and saying she thought I cared about her kids. I stood my firm and told her that adding them to my insurance right now would just make our divorce more complicated whenever it happens. She'd have to find new insurance anyway, so what's the point of doing it temporarily? Plus, my company might have questions about why I'm covering kids who aren't legally mine if we're separated. Amanda hung up on me and sent a long text later saying I showed my true colors, that she finally saw how little I actually cared about her and the kids. She said she was done trying to work things out and wanted to move forward with divorce immediately. My mom thinks I did the right thing by protecting myself, but my sister called me heartless and said I should have just helped them out for a few months while Amanda found a new job. Now I'm wondering if I made things worse by saying no.